I got a call from the bar, kind of down the street around the corner from his house. It's an unusual bar. It was down in the basement of this apartment building. And yeah, they said, Ollie, let me come help us figure out what's going on here. The police weren't very helpful. Somebody broke in last night. I said, all right, yeah, I can be right there. So Ollie went over then. He went down the stairs, and the door was locked. So he knocked. The owner came out, came up to the door and let Ollie in, locked the door behind him. Oh, thanks for coming. Yeah, so we got in this morning and the cash register was knocked over. And it looked like somebody broke in here, tried to get in the cash register, didn't get into the cash register. They drank a bunch of the liquor. They did some other damage, nothing huge really. And I guess they left, and we're totally stumped. I said, okay, but the door was locked. I said, yeah, the door was locked. And that's one of the other weird things is, well, figure out how they got in, but we can't figure out how they got out. I said, what do you mean? Didn't they just go out the way they came in? Stop. So that's the thing about it, though. They I don't think they could have. Let me show you. So I led them around. The owner, his name was Saul. Stop. Led Ollie around. He said, because so here's where they came in. You can see, and there's like a vent grating. Elsa, stop. And it was all bent and kicked out of the way. You could tell, like someone just kicked their way through it. I said, okay, but where does that lead? So, well, exactly. It leads to a tall, vertical shaft that I don't think anybody could climb back out of. I had a look around topside where that shaft leads out, and yeah, that's also pried open, big enough for a person to climb through. But they couldn't have climbed back out. It's too slippery. It'd be like a super expert climber to climb back out. Ingrid, lie down. Now, please. Don't worry about Brady. Lie down. I took a look, and yeah, he could get up, but he's got suction cups. There wasn't really any way for somebody to get up. I suppose that's possible. The thief had suction cups. So I took a careful look all around. He inspected the front door, the main door that people went in and out of normally, and it was locked. And there wasn't any broken bits or anything like that. So then Ollie went around. There's a back door that leads to a hallway where they get, and there's like a gate to the outside that they get deliveries on, but that also was locked tight. Oh, stop messing with that. That also was locked tight. I said, and that's been locked tight all night. I said, yeah, I locked it before I left, and I both closed last night and I opened this morning, so I'm sure. I remember locking it, and it was exactly where I left it, everything. Are there any other ways in and out? So, well, the only other way in and out, there's a window at the far end of the bar, but that's been closed up for years. So, well, let's go take a look. We looked, and that too. It's closed up with a metal grating, screwed in place. And nobody could get in or out of there. But even then, even with a screwdriver, they wouldn't have been able to exit through there and then screw it back in because it was screwed in from the inside. So I thought. So they tried to get into the cash register. They didn't succeed. They drank, and did they take some liquor? I said, no, they didn't. There's not. I mean, there's a couple of broken bottles, and there's definitely liquor missing, but there's no missing stock. I said, huh. He thought. And they said, oh, I think I know what that means. And Saul said, what does that mean? I think you're missing the obvious, Saul. I said, Saul, what do you mean? I think the thief is still here somewhere. I said, what do you mean? I said, what if he didn't get out? What if he got in, thinking he'd find a way out? He didn't find a way out, and that's why he didn't actually take anything. I said, stop. And he's just hiding here somewhere. So I thought, oh, I mean, I guess that's... I mean, I looked around some, but I didn't search like I was playing hide and seek. I said, well, I think we better do that now. So Saul went and he checked the bathrooms, both bathrooms, and there's nobody there. And the other employee that was there, a bartender named Shelley, she went and looked all behind the bar and some like the background. What are you doing? Stop that! Stop. Looked underneath, in the back, behind the refrigerator, nothing. And Saul went back to look in the kitchen. There wasn't anybody there. They thought and they thought and they thought. And all I remembered something about people. Is that people, when they're looking for things, they usually don't look up. So Ollie looked up, and there, staring right at him, looking nervous and caught, was some dude up in the rafters, just hanging on up there between two rafters, trying to look inconspicuous, but Ollie was looking straight at him. He looked up. All I did. He said, sir, you're going to have to come down. And at that, Saul and the bartender looked up. And all of a sudden, everyone was looking at each other. A thief in the ceiling. A barkeep. A bar owner. And a private eye. And I said, what if I make a run for it? And Saul said, where are you going to run? I've got everything locked. What if I fight you for it? I said, there's 3 of us and 1 of you. I don't think it'd work out in your favor. Plus, Saul's pretty big, and you used to be a boxer, didn't you, Saul? Saul said, yep. 3-time champion at the college level. What do I just stay up here? And the barkeep said, well, it's going to be a long day for you. Plus, I'm going to call the police. I don't know, maybe they'd tase you out of there or something? I think you're going to stay up here. I don't think you have a good plan to get me out of here. I said, what's your end game, man? I'm going to wait until you get bored and then run. I said, look, we're looking right at you. It's a basement bar. You're just delaying the inevitable. Okay, truth is, Saul said, yeah. I climbed up here and it seemed like a good idea at the time. And gosh, it worked for the first hour and a half. You guys have been looking for me for a while. But actually, I'm stuck. What? I said, I'm stuck. I'm not quite sure. I tried to move and I can't get down. So I said, just calm down. Just climb down the way you climbed up. The climbing is not the problem. I tried to move. Something's caught in my clothes or something. I don't know. I actually can't come down. I was hoping I could just stay up here until you ended your shift and then I could work on it. But I think I probably need help. I said, you need help in more than one way, man. All right. Well, it looks like we need to call the fire department and the police. I don't know what your name is up there, pal, but it's going to be a rough afternoon for you. Well, I could climb up, but what good would that do? We have to get the guy down.
Yeah, you could climb up, find with a flashlight, find what was the guy was stuck on, undo it, and he could climb down.
Possibly. And then the barkeep said, hey, Saul, I got an idea. I said, yeah? We've got a whole fiasco here.
Saul?
Saul's the bar owner. what if we get out that camera? The guy in the ceiling said, what? Saul said, oh, you're right. This is internet gold. Set it up. So the barkeep came back from the back room with a fancy camera. Hooked it up to his computer and started broadcasting. Saul called the police and the firemen, and the whole city got to watch the whole thing unfold. The burglar that got stuck in the ceiling. Eventually they got him down.
What was he stuck on?
His belt loops, 2 of them, had got caught on like bolts in the ceiling. Stop with the hand. Stop. They had to cut a big part of his pants off to get him down, and lower him down to the ladder. It was a whole fiasco, and it was all over the internet. And that was Ollie. And the case of the burglar in the bar. They did take him to jail, yep.
Why?
Because he broke into a bar. Breaking and entering is a crime.